This week we leave Escalante, cross snow-packed mountains, visit a foreign planet, complete with a lunar habitat, and even find time for a hike. As we continue our journey to Alaska and Hanksville, Utah. Sometimes part of the adventure is the journey, such as when you're leaving Escalante.
14% grade. Here we go.
Video never does it justice, but this section of windy road was steep.
So far, so good.
You're on a spit on top of a mesa with drop-offs on both sides. Lots of snow still on the ground at 8,400 feet.
And climbing.
At 9,571 feet, we were waiting for the oxygen mask to deploy. We drove out of the turbulence and found a great place to take a much-needed break.
What are you doing?
I quite enjoyed the loo with a view before we headed down the mountain and into Capitol Reef National Park. Just outside of Hanksville, we noticed a big difference in the geological features. More to come. The next day, we bypassed Goblin Valley for a more interesting hike.
This morning we woke up a little early and drove about an hour out just beyond Goblin Valley State Park. And we are doing, I think it's Little Wild Horse and Bell Canyon. It's an 8-mile loop with, I think, 2 different slot canyons. So
It's almost May, but it's still really cold.
it's really chilly and windy today. But hoping it'll calm down a little bit in the canyon. We'll see. Hi. Are you a hiking dog? I don't know who your owner is. Come on.
There was a phone number on her tag, but it didn't do us much good down in the canyon.
Did we find Bella's mom? Yeah. Yep. Bella just didn't want to go into the canyon, so she turned around and decided to hightail it back to her RV.
At the fork, we headed to Little Wild Horse Canyon first, reading that it was more difficult. Sometimes Stormy and I prefer to take the path less traveled. The canyon greeted us with interesting features before becoming a little more narrow, windy, and challenging.
Puppy portage. Whee! Couple of footholds, but there's no way that we could, even with using the harness, even if we could get Stormy up here, we still have all of that. And I can barely get up here without having to do some spidering, and so we're gonna do an out and back.
Back at the fork, we headed to Bell Canyon.
Taking a quick water break. So the Bell Canyon side, it's quasi-wash, quasi-canyon. Doesn't have the tight slots, but still pretty epic. Best doggy waterfall ever. Gotta figure out a way to get over that.
When you can't go over, go around.
Hold my treat. Watch this. Quick, before it falls. Quick, Stormy. Lunch for Pupper.
Lunch for the human.
Today we have a gourmet lunch of peanut butter and jelly quesadillas. It's like a wrapped gordita with peanut butter and jelly. Some peaches.
Sonny gets trout.
What do you think?
Gourmet. It's delicious after 4.5 miles.
After our lunch guests departed, it was time to head back down the canyon.
Are you pulling a Kona on top of a big rock?
On the way back, we put Goblin Valley in our rear view and left a convoy of Class Cs in our dust. The next day, after work, we met up with Cedar and Silver to check out Bentonite Hills. But first we had to cross a lunar landscape in order to get there. We even went by the Mars Desert Research Station. This facility supports research in pursuit of technology, operations, and science required for human space exploration. Pretty cool.
Are you on Mars? Okay, let's go check it out. What are you doing down there? So he runs away from her.
Marley gave Stormy a run for his money.
Look at how fast she's lightning, dude.
We continued our exploration on foot with Lilia leading the way. The alien analog even included stones that sounded like tin, and others that didn't even look real, almost like plastic. And unique and beautiful flora, all on a landscape resembling Mars, especially from the air. After a group shot of the crew, and of course the puppies too, it was time to head back down the mountain and out of Bentonite Hills. After another day of work, it was time to go play.
You going to see Marley? Nope, we gotta drive to her. She's not over there.
We headed down the road to Cedar and Silver's dispersed camping spot and took in another incredible sunset. Then it was time for Lenny and Karen to teach us the fun card game of Swoop, while Stormy fixated on Mango.
What are you doing? You doing birdwatch?
The game continued on, and I won't say who won because I don't like to brag. After a little bit of belly rubbing, it was time to say goodbye until our paths once again converge. The next morning we hit the road again, headed to Moab, where we met up with friends old and new on our journey to Alaska. Hope to see you there.